Most people think judgment is loud. Criticism, arguments, obvious disapproval. But the most dangerous judgment is completely silent. The top 1% of observers never confront you directly. They study you, analyze you, and decide who you are, without saying a single word. And the disturbing part? Most people never realize it's happening. In this video, you'll learn 7 subtle psychological signs someone is secretly judging you. But pay close attention to sign number 7, because it's the most accurate signal, and once you notice it, you'll never see people the same way again. When someone genuinely enjoys a conversation, their responses are automatic, fast, natural, effortless. But when someone is secretly judging you, something changes. There's a small delay, a brief pause, almost like their brain is running a background analysis. They aren't just listening, they're evaluating. Your words become data points. Your tone, your confidence, your choices. Everything is quietly being placed into a mental category. Most people miss this micro pause completely. But trained observers know that silence is often a hidden judgment process. A genuine smile involves the entire face. Eyes tighten, cheeks lift, energy feels natural. But a judgmental smile is different. It's controlled, partial, almost mechanical. Just one side of the mouth moves. Psychologists call this a social mask expression. It's the face people use when they're being polite, but internally thinking something very different. And here's where it gets interesting. The person judging you usually doesn't even realize they're doing it. Their brain is revealing their opinion before they consciously choose their words. But here is where it gets darker, because the next sign is something people use when they've already decided who you are. Not all questions are curious. Some questions are diagnostic. For example, "That's interesting. How did you manage that? What made you choose that career? Wait, you really believe that?" These aren't just questions. They're tests. The person is measuring your competence, your intelligence, your social status. Think of it like a silent interview. Every answer you give is being scored. Most people think they're just having a casual conversation. But to a high-level observer, it's an evaluation session. And this leads to the next sign most people overlook. Normal conversation eye contact is relaxed. But when someone is secretly judging you, their gaze becomes focused, sharp, almost like they're studying a puzzle. They scan your face, watch your reactions, observe your confidence level, not because they like you, because they're analyzing your behavior patterns. The brain naturally does this when deciding whether someone is credible, weak, or impressive. But here's the problem. Once someone starts analyzing you like this, their brain begins forming very fast conclusions. And that leads directly to sign number 5. When people like you, their brain subconsciously mirrors you. Similar posture, similar tone, similar gestures. It's a natural psychological bonding process. But when someone is judging you, that mirroring suddenly disappears. They create distance, different posture, different pacing, different energy. It's subtle but powerful, because their brain is no longer trying to connect, it's trying to separate. But here is where it gets even more interesting, because the next sign happens after the conversation ends. Sometimes the judgment isn't visible in the moment, but later, everything feels different. Their tone changes. They become slightly colder, more formal. Maybe they respond slower to messages, or conversations become shorter. Why? Because the brain has already made its final assessment. Once someone mentally categorizes you, their behavior adjusts automatically. No announcement, no explanation, just quiet distance. But the final sign is something only elite observers notice. The most judgmental people rarely talk the most. They observe the most. They let others speak while collecting information. Your stories, your reactions, your opinions. Everything becomes psychological data. And while you're talking, they're building a complete mental model of you. Strengths, weaknesses, confidence level. This is exactly how high-level strategists analyze people. Quietly, patiently, without revealing their conclusions. And that's why this final sign is the most powerful. Because when someone watches more than they speak, you are not in a conversation. You are under observation. Most judgment doesn't happen through criticism. It happens through silent evaluation. Micro pauses, controlled smiles, testing questions, analytical eye contact. These signals reveal something important about human psychology. People are constantly forming opinions, even when they say nothing. The real power isn't avoiding judgment. It's recognizing when it happens. Because once you learn to see these signals, you stop being the person who is analyzed and start becoming the person who understands the room. And that is a skill the top 1% of observers use every day.